I'm gonna have some breakfast. Saturday morning, it's about 8:30, and it looks like it's gonna be drizzly all day, just like yesterday again, which sucked. Every time it gets drizzly, it makes my back hurt. My neck's out. I had a hell of a time sleeping last night. Babies are still sleeping. We were up kind of late last night. Nobody on yet. Sure like strawberries. We've been getting good fruit at the store across the street. You gotta look for the number on it though when you're buying it. Make sure the first number, it's a 5-digit number with a 9 first, so it isn't all full of the chemicals and spray stuff. They'll spray stuff on food that'll kill you. Good morning. Who's there to see? Hey, T, how you doing? Just got up and figured I'd say hi to everybody. Eating my breakfast, got a bunch of fruit this morning. We like that here. You know, just grapes and strawberries and maybe some avocado for breakfast. My favorite anyway. I don't feel like eating eggs this morning. My little Geronimo's starting to wake up. Hey, handsome. He's getting so big. He's getting long as can be. He was out of school yesterday because he didn't have a fever, but he had a sore throat. And the school asked on Thursday that he not come in on Friday. So, okay, we kept him home. And all he wanted to do was go outside and play in the rain. But we kept him in. I got a little bit of a sore throat now too from him, so. Nah, she didn't go. We'll see. It wouldn't have been for a while anyway, because we don't have money for a ticket anyway. Very expensive. Right now, the cheapest ticket we could find was $1,000. There's no deals right now. But we bought. We have our Chinese neighbors they're moving to Missouri, I believe, today. So Faye bought their two little girls had some twin beds. So we bought the beds off him. Plus he's got a cabinet and stuff he said we could just have. So we hope we can pick that up today. If they didn't leave already. But that'll be real good, you know, that way instead the kids on an air mattress. We're supposed to be moving in June. The lady at the new apartment, we haven't gotten our application back yet, whether they okayed us or not. They should. But she said it would be the second week of June that they'll be ready. It had to be gutted. It's going to be a hardwood floor, which we looked at one that had carpet and cathedral ceilings, very nice. The one we're going to get, she said, it's the same floor plan, but it's hardwood floors and butcher block countertops. The one we looked at had like a Corian countertops, almost like a granite. But it was really nice on the third floor. But the way these apartments work that we're moving to, either when you go into them, either go downstairs to the first floor, or you go upstairs to the third, a flight of stairs. and second floor is the ground level. And I had asked for ground level because, I can't do the stairs right now. And I don't see in the next month or two of me getting any better doing stairs. So she said, okay, we got you one that's the center floor. And it's an end unit so that we're getting windows on a couple sides. If we get the one she showed us, it's got windows on 3 sides on the last bedroom. And if that's the case, that's going to be really nice. That's exactly what we're looking for. So, let's see. Well, I had for breakfast, I had strawberries, grapes, and avocado. And we all like stuff like that, the kids and I. I got my Indian shirt on today, and I don't care what they say, guys. That's Chief Wahoo. Wahoo. They try to change it, take his picture down because, it hurts the Indians. Well, I got a card here that says I'm an Indian, and I don't give a shit. I don't care if they call him Chief Wahoo. They've been calling him Chief Wahoo for 100 damn years. They make a big fuss here now because everybody's so politically correct. They all talk like this, and we got these men walking around in women's clothes out here. I can't believe that. We got one dude here. I'm not kidding. It's a dude. It's a 100% dude walking around all chicked out, miniskirt, stockings, high heels, big bony knees, and these massive shoulders. And it's like, oh gosh, what happened? What happened? I don't remember this kind of stuff when I was young. I really don't. And now they're feeding them something. It's got to be the soy. It's got to be all the soy joy that they're eating, and these cafe lattes full of soy. That does something with their hormones and makes them feminine. But that one fella, I'm not going to join in on his delusion either. I say, hey, how you doing, buddy? And come up. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. Not with that wiener, you ain't. Sorry. I ain't joining in with you. Hey, Steinmetz. Yeah, nobody gave a damn, Steinmetz, about that. Now they do. I was just going through downtown, and they got it going past the stadium because the ball games are started now. And I was never one to go to the game. They ruined me when I was very young. I was a baseball player and I was a pitcher, and they said if we won the regional, that we were going to get to go to a doubleheader. Gaylord Perry on the mound. Way back. This was way back when I was a young kid, and we won. I was pitching. I pitched the first game, and it was 1-0. And then this other kid pitched the second game, and the same thing, 1-0. So, not big scores when I was playing baseball. Well, we go to the game, right? You talk about boring. That's when I realized baseball is absolutely. You might as well watch paint dry. It's like soccer. When you get a score, I'd like to see a score where they have a machine pitch the ball, move the thing back a little bit, move the field back so you can't get a home run, and let these guys get some hits so you get some action out on the field. Let's see a score of 56-47, instead of this 1-0. What a bore. What a stinking bore. So they ruined me on it. That was the last baseball games I ever went to. Because I wanted to leave so bad. And the bad thing was when the first game was over, they started a second one. And it was like, gosh, dang, where's the paint? I want to watch some paint dry. Same like with soccer. Soccer, that's another incredibly boring sport. If you want to see what happened in these games like that, wait till 11 o'clock news. They'll put it all in there in like 10 seconds. Of all the cool stuff that happened, and you can catch it all. And football was another thing. I could care less about. You could have all the football games in the world and the Super Bowl. Heck, every time they had a Super Bowl party through our church or something, I was upstairs in the kitchen cooking with the women. I could care less, and the guys be down in the basement screaming, "Hoo, yo!" Big deal. A bunch of damn queers running around slapping each other on the ass, if you ask me. So I just, I just think, and they do their little dance. Hey, buddy, you starting to wake up? You chilly, huh? He's covering up a little bit. It's kind of cool in here this morning. We don't have the windows open, but it's damp outside. It's not, the ground isn't super wet, but it's going to be one of these cloudy, dismal days and shitty again. You know, that's, I'm not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that at all. The other two kids aren't even up yet. Hey, Moo, you want to get me a cup of coffee? Can you wake up, mister? He's wiggling his toes. He's not moving yet. I got to get a shave today. Oh, my goodness. Moo wants me to grow my beard back. Huh, buddy? He told me yesterday I need to grow my beard back. But yeah, I actually got this Cleveland Indian shirt when I was in the Philippines. You can't find them here. You can't even find the hats with the Indian on there anymore. I used to have a motorcycle. I had a like an embroidered thing on there, and I glued it to my fender with Chief Wahoo, and that stayed on my motorcycle for years. I bonded it on with some of that liquid nails. You know, I scratched up the fender. It was a plastic fender. I scratched it up really good, and I put some liquid nails down, and then I set that embroidery, Chief Wahoo, right on top of it, and that was right on my front fender. It looked cool as heck. Very fitting for the bike because the colors were the same. It was a Honda, so it was red, white, and blue, and this Chief Wahoo, he's kind of red, white, and blue. Hey, that's an American Indian, red, white, and blue, guys. That's the colors that they picked for him. And now they say you can't call him Chief Wahoo no more. Says who? I haven't met an Indian who gives a shit. Not a single one. But it's all these little white soy latte drinking queer baits that it bothers them. Oh, it hurts my feelings. Ew, it's so droll. Oh, I can't stand it. Getting sick of these people. I'm getting so sick of, their existence. I just don't understand what the hell's the matter with them. Somebody needs to get them to a shrink. They need to go see a psychiatrist. And back in the day, that's what they did to them. You know, when they started turning like that, they went to a shrink. But if you look at this, I just saw a painting of the, somebody had it on YouTube. There's a painting of the king over in England. Satanic. It's a satanic painting. Yeah, well, it's a shame that they're going to be lost. That's the sad thing. You know, to me, that is a real sad thing. But there's a dude on the YouTube. My buddy Gary sent me the link to his channel, and all he does is he stands around in Home Depots or Walmarts, or he stands outside and he asks people if they believe in Jesus Christ. And I'm amazed at how many people say no. That's why the gate is narrow. Because so many people just don't believe, and they just walk away from him, and they're shitty to him. And he gets thrown out of places all the time. I mean, these people who profess to be Christians, while the guy's throwing them out, yeah, I'm a Christian, but you can't be doing that in here. Well, wait a minute. You're throwing him out, and you're a Christian? Don't throw him out. Let him speak his piece. You know, if you're in a Walmart or something like that, he wants you just to ask people that. He ain't hurting nobody. If it bothers somebody, they can ignore him and keep walking, which most of them do. And I watched that, and it's scary. It made my hair stand up. That so many people don't believe in Jesus Christ, that he died for us. I mean, it's a history. It's a history that's gone down, and it's, wow. It just blew my mind, is what it did. And it's I just like to see everybody turn around and be able to go. You know, who the hell wants to go eternity with Satan? I mean, holy cow, what a rotten deal that would be. You know, sounds good on paper, but like the one fellow said, I'd rather be the highest in hell than the lowest in heaven. The guy told me that one time. I said, well, then you believe in heaven. No, I don't believe in that, but if there was. You know, these atheist guys, they say they're an atheist, but that's a religion in of itself. You know, so I don't buy it. But yeah, these ones walking around in girl clothes, I do have a hard time with it. I start snickering. I start laughing. I was at the VA, and there was this big young dude. I mean, this dude should have been a linebacker. I mean, he was built. He had the biggest shoulders you ever seen, real narrow hips, strong looking, and he was in a see-through miniskirt with stockings and panties on, big high heels, stiletto high heels, and he's walking in front of me down through the VA with long hair. He got long hair down his back. I don't know if it was his or a wig, all chicked out with makeup. And it's a dude. I mean, big old Adam's apple, bulging the drawers. You can't hide that in the panties. And I'm like, what happened? What happened? What happened? We never saw any of that when I was a kid. I remember when there was the damn queer baits, you just took them out and beat them up. Made their mind right. But they had one when I was in school. He used to wear his clothes inside out. He would come to school with all his clothes inside out. And it was like, nobody got it. Of course, but he hung with all the girls. The girls were safe with him because, he was a queer bait. And he wore his clothes inside out. His sweaters, his pants, everything. Pockets were on the outside. And all of us guys were like, man, what a sissy. A weirdo. What are you gonna do though? Hey Mike, how you doing? Well, something, it would be, Mike, it would be nice if you could cast it out of a lot of those people, because that's what's the matter with them. They got a demon. That's like this cancer I got. I think that was a demon in me, and I hope it's rid. We get rid of this. I'll be going down in, I think it's the end of July or the beginning of August for the stem cell. I went down to the meeting on that. I got another meeting on the 24th. They explained everything that happened and why they do what they're going to do. And, you're using your own cells, so there's no chance of rejection. They they take them out and put them in a freezer. So, that's what's going to happen. They basically talked me into it, said I can get an extra 5 years, looking at 10 years instead of 5. And hey, I need it. I need as much time as I can get. I did talk to a fella in there that was way over. He was 15, almost 20 years since he had his done. He was one of the first for the stem cell, and he goes in once a year for a chemo, where they just give him the shot once a year, and it's not the full shot. But he said he hasn't had any trouble. He gained his weight back, 72 years old, and he was getting around really good. So, maybe that'll work that way for me. I don't know, but I got to gain some weight. I'm still like 100, 200 pounds, which is not very much. Yeah, it's exactly what that was. That was a pre-planned thing there. And the thing that gets me though is, if you look at a lot of these school districts and stuff, and just go to their administration page, okay, and you'll see their flags. You'll see them hanging the American flag, the Ohio State flag, and stuff. Most of these schools, right somewhere in their flag hanging, they'll have a rainbow flag. I kid you not. I've seen it, because when my son Maddie and I came here, some of these school districts around here, I went to their page and I saw these rainbow flags. So I said, okay, we're not going in that school district. We're staying away. Now, this one we're in right now, they don't have it. There's no rainbow flag. But they teach that the astronauts went to the moon. I always laugh. The coneheads, maps, went to the moon. What a joke. But they don't have the rainbow stuff, and they're not teaching it. So, and that's what I need for my kids. I don't want them learning any of that crap. I want to teach them that it's an evil, but these schools want to teach them that it's a good. I just watched a thing last night before I fell asleep, it was these evangelicals were all meeting, and they were introducing themselves as, I'm a by this, that, you know, every single one of them had their little name, and I do a she, him, or he, her, and I'm watching this thinking that's the Church of Satan, guys. That ain't no regular church that you go to, like when I was a kid. That churches that these people are going to are churches of Satan when you start getting into that weird crap. But this is where we're at in these churches, in these big mega churches. Since I've been here, and hi, handsome. How you doing, buddy? Come on over here. Say good morning. Oh, come here, you. Come here. Oh, look at my beautiful baby boy. Hi. Hi, mister.
Hello.
Oh, you're my beautiful guy, aren't you? You got long hair. But,
How about this guy? He had no hair.
oh yeah, he fell down last night.
He's bald.
Hello. Yeah, but we went to different churches since I've been here. We went to the one at the mall. We went to our friend's stuff, and every single time there was almost nothing that was being taught out of the Bible. I'm serious, like zero. Out of the whole hour and a half sermon, the last one I went to, he spent maybe 2 minutes speaking of something that was in the Bible. The rest of the time he was asking for money. The first church we went to, they said they had a water main break, and for a half an hour, the guy just begged for money. And here's the thing, if you got a water main break and you're a renter, you're renting the space, they have to pay for that. The water main breaks and it ruins your place, they pay for that. And he said, no, we have to pay for that. We need $69,000 for carpet. Well, wait a minute, I was back there. I seen the big room in the back. How the hell would that carpet cost $69,000 back there? It's impossible. I worked with a carpet guy for years. It's impossible that it costs that much. I don't care if you got the best padding and the best wool carpet in the world. There's no way it was $69,000. And that's all the guy did was beg for money for almost the whole entire time. And they're suckering these people in. And it was so loud in there, I had to leave. I had to get up and leave. You couldn't talk to anybody. That's what Satan wants. It's exactly what he wants. When you walk into that church, he doesn't want you talking to somebody. He wants them drums and that percussion so loud that you can't turn to your neighbor and say, hey, how you doing, buddy? You can't do it because it's just incredibly loud. And you can't hear what these people are singing. They're screaming some kind of rock and roll Christian band crap. And, you know, it's a show for them. I mean, they're doing their thing like they're some kind of big star. You know, it's just nothing but a show. And it's not the kind of church I went to. You know, I went to a little small Church of Christ, and everybody got in there and sang. We never sang a single hymn while I was in any of these churches here. It was like in California when I had a real good Christian buddy, took me to his mega church. I'm like, man, you got to get out of here, buddy. I said, you're my friend. You need to get the hell out of here. Hey, Bams. And they don't believe that they're suckered into a Church of Satan. They just don't believe it. You know, they get suckered into this and they just go with it. And it's a shame. It's a real shame that they're, you know, Satan's pretty smart. First one in church, guys. He's the very first one in church. Right, mister? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's up playing that game. School's going to be out soon. That game's going to get put away.
I'm watching.
Oh, you're watching?
That's time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's my good Matty. He's up. It's already 9 o'clock already, so. You know, it's not afternoon, buddy. Well, for you, it might be, Bams. Might be afternoon for you, but it's still morning here. And it's dreary outside. I don't know if you can see out that window. There's no sunshine. It's dreary. It's going to be another crap day like yesterday. Yesterday, the ground was wet almost the whole day until the end of the day, and it dried up. And we got our garage door fixed. I couldn't get in the garage for a couple of days.
They brushed that guy's teeth.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so the The thing was broke. They got a garage door company come out and fix it, so now it's working again, and I can get in there. But I still can't do anything. Plus, I don't want to stand on cold concrete. I'd like to, I'm going to have to, when we move next month, I'm going to have to get that bike over. And I was thinking I'll just do it at nighttime. We're hoping we get a carport, because I sure as hell don't want to park that thing out in the middle of the parking lot and somebody run into it or knock it over, or kids dick with it. These kids like to throw rocks and stuff, and that's all I need is somebody start throwing rocks at the bike. If I can get it in the carport and tuck it way in the back and cover it up, it'll be out of sight, out of mind. I don't want to get it all trashed. I mean, I love that bike, and hopefully I'll be better here where I can start riding it. I need to get on that thing and ride it. I just can't squeeze the clutch pedal. I can get the brake pedal working. I already tried that, but I can't squeeze the clutch. And I haven't been able to get the screws loose to put the stunt clutch on. I can't get them loose, guys. I mean, they must have Loctite on them. And it takes a big screwdriver for them. It's not an Allen wrench, it's a Phillips. And I got the big one that fits it just perfect, but I can't turn it. Even when I put a rag around it and use two hands, I can't turn it. So, and I have to get Loctite for everything anyway. When I put the center stand on and all the rest of the stuff, I need Loctite. And I want to put that in the block for the Thermobob. I want this bike lasting a long time. So many of them Kawasaki's, their cylinder warps, and they start using oil. And they dirty up their oil real quick. I know guys they'll change their oil, and within a couple hundred miles, the oil's black again because the cylinder's out of round, and it's just putting all that combustion smoke down into the oil. So if I can get my thing heating even, and I have that bypass on there, that should alleviate a lot of that out of round problem that these KLRs have. And anybody who gets a KLR, I think before you should take it home from the dealer, I think dealers should offer that. I think dealers should offer the Thermobob and just put it on the bikes before you even drive them home. Now I drove mine home. It was a beautiful sunny day. It got up to temperature. I could hear the fan coming on and running the whole way home, but it dumps just nothing but freezing cold water in there, because it cools it off in that radiator. And then you drive for 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden the thermostat opens, excuse me, and you're just dumping real super cold water in there. And it's got a heck of a good radiator on it. But there's a fellow who did a test on his, and he was getting 189 degrees up on the top of the motor and 30 degrees on the bottom. You can't have that. You can't have that difference in heat on a aluminum jug. You'll just warp the hell out of it. So mine's going to be going on here. Hopefully I get all this stuff on here real soon. And riding season is coming. I mean, I should be out riding already, but I just can't operate the clutch right now. I wish I had somebody who would give me a hand. I was going to ask that fella Brandon, who's the maintenance guy. He works on his bike. He's got a Sportster over there in the end garage and a Yamaha, but he's working on his bike. I was going to ask him the other day if he'd give me a hand. I need help. I can't do this stuff on my own the way my hands are working. And they tell me that this will be fixed soon. Well, it ain't. I can't even hold a stupid fork half the time unless I got these. They gave me these big forks that I can hang on to, and then I got some more that are made out of like concrete. They're real heavy, and I don't drop them. But if you give me a regular fork, I drop it all over the floor. I can't even get food to my damn mouth half the time, and it's getting aggravating. But I did get something real cute. My little Geronimo, he was in school, and look what my little Geronimo made me. I thought he did a real good job on this. He said they baked it in the oven. He painted it and baked it in the oven. He made a little chick. I thought he did a fantastic job on that. He's pretty artistic in making stuff, that little guy. He made that little stick thing. I bought Maddie the stick thing, and Maddie built the big house. Mumu was making these cool looking cars. Him and his little, well, what would my daughter's kid be to him? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. How old are he? He's going to be 7 tomorrow, guys. He's got a birthday tomorrow. 7 years old already. And he sits there every night and reads his book. He won the book fair I think it was last Friday. Not this one, but the one before. And he won 10 books. So he came home with a whole bag of books that he gets to keep. And his favorite one is the map of the United States. And he's learning where all the states are. He showed, he's sounding stuff out now. You get these kids hooked on phonics, and they'll sound out their words. He figures stuff out. It amazes me. He just amazes me how quick he picks stuff up. He asked me last night, he says, is booty the same as treasure? Because he was reading it in his book. And he picked it up just from inferring it, just from reading it, that booty had to be the same as treasure. So he asked just to be sure. And I was sitting there going, check out this little guy. He's sharp as a tack. When it's these little things like that he does that I'm catching. And I'm just amazed. Nobody else catches that kind of stuff, but he does. And it just amazes me. So I'm pretty happy with the little guy. He's a smart cookie. He's a beautiful kid too. He's mine. And my Matty, Mr. Matty Longhair, huh? His hair's getting long. Yeah, I know. Well, mine is too, I guess. It's getting dark though. It's got the damn chemo dye on it. We were talking about that last time all the doctors were in the room. And that one nurse, and they never heard of that before either. But I got pictures of me going in for my very first chemo. I'm sitting there, I'm all skinny and all scared looking in my hair. It was pure white. You could hardly see a black strand in it. And then I started getting the chemo, and look at it. The chemo was turning my hair black, and I'm not dyeing it. I ain't doing anything. I got a little silver in there, but pretty expensive hair dye, guys. And I wouldn't recommend it. But my little buddy tomorrow, he's going to be 7. I can't believe we had him 7 years already. It just amazes me how fast time flies. I look at my daughter. She had a birthday, 35 years old. And it's just like, damn, 35 years ago, I remember holding her in my arms. Just amazes me how fast time goes. My son is 40. My oldest boy. Yeah, and we run out, guys. And then it's done. We're just a vapor. We're just a stinking vapor. That's it. We don't get much time here. If you look on the timeline of things, they used to get a lot of time, 900 years, but I guess the people got too wicked. And God said, no, that's a little bit too much time for people. But I like watching these kids grow, though. I hope I have plenty of time for that. I don't know what we're going to do today. We'll probably get outside a little bit. The kids have been playing out. It's not like it's real cold or anything. It's just damp. It's one of these gray days in northern Ohio. Nothing but cloud cover over the lake. And it's got my neck hurting, my back's hurting. Anytime it gets damp like this, that's when there's nothing you can do about it. It puts you in just a backache that you can't get rid of. Can't straighten out. I don't know. We get a new body. I know that stuff. Whether you want to call it reincarnation or not, but we're gonna go get to live with our Creator. I truly believe that. Some people don't. I couldn't believe that. You guys got to watch that. I got to look on my phone and see what the name of that channel is, where the guy asks the people if they believe in Jesus Christ. And it's got to be about 90% say no. You look at them and they just look like regular people. It's like, you got to be kidding me. That shocked me. And when my buddy, he goes, he couldn't believe it either. And then when he sent me the site, I'm watching. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Yeah, Steinmetz. I'll find it for you, and what I'll do is I'll put it in the messenger or something like that. Hit me on Messenger because I can't look now because it'll shut this feed off. But my buddy Gary sent it to me, and I got it saved, so I can go through my stuff and I'll find it. There was actually two of them. I found another one. I found the one he sent me, and then there was another channel where a guy's doing a similar thing. He's doing about the same thing, and they show him getting kicked out. They show the police coming arresting him just because he's asking people if they like Jesus, and the police are telling him he's harassing people. Just asking them if they believe in Jesus, that's harassment. So as soon as you mention God, it's harassment according to Satan, guys. And that's just the way it goes. So, hey, Matt, you got to eat something, bub.
Hmm?
Yeah. There's a thing that we eat in the morning. It's called breakfast. Go find something, Mr. Curly Top. Show him your curly hair.
Yeah.
Boy, does he got the curliest damn hair. We haven't cut it since he got here,
I know.
and it's thick.
Papa, what are we gonna eat?
I don't know. Mommy's gonna make you something, maybe some fruit. We got strawberries and
Mama, don't cook anything. Make
strawberries and grapes and stuff. That's a good breakfast. That's what I had this morning: strawberries, grapes, and avocado. Hey, Russell, how you doing, buddy? No work today, huh? I was talking to Russell last night on the messenger for about an hour or so. Hey, Peter. Yeah, so I like Russell. He's up there in Northern California trying to sell his house. He's looking to hook up with his girl in the Philippines here coming up real soon. And it's tough, you know, the way the housing market is right now. They want to keep chewing you down to nothing,
Mama.
you know. Now around here, I can't believe the house prices. These little ticky-tacky matchboxes, they want a couple $100,000 for.
You want strawberries?
I already had some. I had a whole plate full. No, I'm good.
I want these.
But that's why we want to go down south. I got on that Zillow, Z-I-L-L-O-W, and I put in there 60,000 and below because they told me down at the VA 60,000 and under I can afford. They would have no problem giving me a loan for up to 60,000. Well, it's showing you one 67. And I asked them down there, you know, there was a real nice one we found for 67. They said, yeah, we could swing that. It's not going to be that much more a month. And it was beautiful ranch. It had this huge outbuilding. But a lot of them down there, they only have one bathroom. You know, they might be a 3 or a 4 bedroom, but they only got one bathroom. And that's the old time houses. You know, I like the new houses that's got 2 and 3 bathrooms or 2.5 bathrooms. You know, so that if you got to go, you got a bathroom to go to. But it had an outhouse, and I don't have a problem using an outhouse. I don't have a problem at all because when you got to go, you got to go. California, yeah, that's right, Bams. But I got a good price when I sold my house up in Victorville, though. What I paid for it, what it sold for, we made. Well, the realtor got most of it, but it was $91,000 over what I paid for it. Of course, I fixed it up, and I had receipts. I had made receipts for more than $91,000, so we didn't get taxed real hard on it. But still, the state comes in. State of California says I owe them 10 grand, and they're gonna hit my account, and they're gonna do all this crap. And I'm like, I don't know your shit. I don't know these people anything. Where are they coming from? Every year I would do my taxes. And I'd get my tax stuff back, and then months later they'd come back and say I owe them $5 grand. They did that every year, and it's like, what the heck's the matter with these people? You know, I did my taxes, so just a real pain in the ass. And then when I moved to the Philippines, I didn't fill out any taxes because I made under the limit. You know, I wasn't getting Social Security or anything. I was just getting the pension of a small amount. And when you work over there in the Philippines, they take your money right out of your check. There's nothing you can do, and you don't get a penny back. I never got a single penny back, guys, from that. And the U.S. government never got it. I think the Filipino government say they take it, and they say they're sending it to the U.S., and they put it right in their pocket. Somebody in the office puts it in their pocket, but it's 30%. I made 30% less than anybody else working there. You know, because I was a American, and in the U.S., it's the only country in the world where if you work out of the country, they tax you. You know, and you don't make nothing. I think I was making 81 pesos an hour. That was my pay rate, and they were taking 30% of it right off the top. Yeah. But California, they hit me hard every year on taxes. I had a real good tax guy. He says, "You don't know this." You know, and he'd go in there and fight for that, and it didn't matter. They'd freeze my account, and then they just take it. As the money went in, they just would take it, and that's what they want to do now. They say I owe them 10 grand. Well, I haven't been there in how many years? I haven't been in California in how many years? In the last 2 years, I did taxes. And so for the last 2 years, I owe them 5 grand a piece, and they're saying I owe them 10 grand. And they're going to shut my accounts off and just take it. Well, good luck with that. You know, so I gotta pull the money out of the deposits in that bank in California. They're just real jerks. You know, if they take my pension from there, we're screwed. You know, we're 100% screwed because we barely make it now. And if they take $600 from me a month, there ain't no way we'd make it here. It just wouldn't happen. So, and then plus we got to move. We're gonna be tight next month again because we got to move, and they want this place. I think I paid $300 deposit, so I'm gonna have to pay seven or eight, something like that, just to get June. I'd like to pay just half of it, you know, because we're going to be out half the month. And then the new place, I got to give them 600 plus the first month's rent. So it's like, okay, as soon as I do all that stuff, we're broke. Yeah, we're broke again. You know, so, and this month was the same way, you know, because of the paperwork shit I had to do for the I-485. You know, and that's not even turned in yet, and that's what ticks me off. I could have not spent that money this month. Oh, the new Honda. Oh yeah, they're sending me an advertisement for motorcycles. Well, I already got my motorcycle. No, it's about a mile. It's 1 mile from here, and it's not on on the main road. As soon as we come out of here, we turn down the side road. I wish we could do it through the bike trail, but you can't drive a car on the bike trail. That would be even closer. We could go out the back way and be right over there. But this new place will be right up the street is the bike trail, so, and we'll all have bikes. Next month or the month after, I'm going to get Dorothy a bike, and then, you know, during the summertime, we can all jump on the bikes. The woman and I'll have the tandem bike. And the boys got their bikes, and then we'll get Dorothy a bike and, you know, ride that bike trail. You know, we can ride that all the way out to Strongsville. Hell, we could ride to Walmart if we want to. You know, and I don't get into no speedy ride anymore. Matty, he likes to ride real fast. But, you know, we just take a nice leisurely cruise. Matty and I took it one time all the way to Strongsville. I drove 15 miles one way. And then coming back, we were coming down the hill because it's all uphill. And we actually had a couple spots on the hill where we had to get off the bike and walk it because the hill was real steep. A couple spots were steep. But when we were coming home, we were coming down the road. We got out in the road instead on the sidewalk. And the dude next to us says, "Hey, buddy, you're doing 60. We were coming down this big hill doing 60 miles an hour. And I thought, boy, I sure hope we don't wipe out or blow a tire, because we'd have got hurt. You know, we didn't have no hats on or nothing. But we were coming down that road doing 60 miles an hour next to a car. I wonder if a cop would have pulled us over. I got stopped in well, they tried to stop me. The cop in California, I was over in the right-hand lane and I had to turn left. So I cut over through the traffic to the left, and I went around the cop, and he put his lights off and he's hollering out the window, "Hey, you pull over." So I pulled over to the curb, and he's like, "Give me your license." And I said, "I'm on a bike." "You need a bike license," he told me. This is no kidding. This was a cop. This was an actual cop, a demented cop, but a cop. He had the costume on. So I'm looking at him. He turned around to go back to his car, so I just drove away. And instead of going into where I worked, I went into the one before, and I threw my bike over the dumpster. And then I just went into work. And he was driving around all day, they said, looking for me. So there are these cops out there, especially in California, are mental. There's something bad wrong with them. They hate people. They hate the citizens. I just saw the one where they shot that 81-year-old woman. She did have a knife, though. And anytime you're playing with a knife, but you don't have to kill her. Why didn't he shoot her in the hand? If these guys are so good at what they do, shoot the knife out of her hand. Don't kill her. But that's what they want to do that. They had some guy standing up there talking, "Yeah, you should be proud of yourself that you killed her." Yeah, I saw that one, Bams. He wanted a license because he was riding a horse on the side of the road, the black guy. And it's like, these idiots. These cops are such stinking idiots. There's no training for them. There's absolutely no training. And they're more scared of a camera. You go into a post office, there's 15 cameras in a post office. And then these guys come in with a camera, and you got 15 cops there, and there's a big sign that says you can film in here. And these cops come in and but they won't mess with somebody selling heroin or who's got a gun because, they could get hurt. They're just, if you ask me, they're a bunch of cowards. They're a bunch of stinking cowards. They want to mess with somebody. They just had one the other day where the guy was beating up on a girl. She had a camera, and she was just walking around, and he was beating up on her. He actually had her by the hair on the ground and was just wailing on her for filming. Yeah. Yeah, I don't get these cops, though. There's so many of these cop channels now where they're watching them, and then Trump wants to give them indemnity, not just qualified immunity. He wants indemnity where they can come up and just kill you. They can come up, "Hey, I didn't like the looks of that guy." Like the fella said last night, I was watching on the video, he says, "Well, why don't they just, as soon as somebody opens up the door, just shoot everybody, and then they'll be safe. All the cops can go home safely." They don't care about your safety. They only care about their own because they're a bunch of damn sissies, if you ask me. I think you're going to start seeing more, like those two cops that were eating lunch that got shot in the head. I think you're going to start seeing more of that. People are getting fed up with these guys. And you get these bad apples, I think they're going to start shooting them. I think there's going to be a war between the Gestapo is what they are. They're nothing but a Gestapo. And if Trump gives them indemnity, you definitely got the Gestapo. They're gonna run ramshot over everybody's rights. They ain't gonna care about anything because there's gonna be no consequences for them. Hey, Berkey. I'm somewhat better. I still can't walk on this right side. I can't put any weight on my right hip. I still think that's from where they did that biopsy, the bone marrow biopsy on there. It just can't put any weight on the right side. As soon as I put weight on there, it feels like I got a knife in the joint. Yeah, Bams, they should stay home. They should go collect garbage or something like that. Go find something else to do if you're so scared. And then it's so funny. You see these cops, and they got all this gear on them. They had this one cop. He's like a security guard. He had a couple knives. He had guns. He had tasers. He had all this shit hanging off the front of him. It's like, what's the matter with these people? I like Andy Griffith. He didn't even carry a gun. There was cops in the Philippines. The major that we knew, he became a colonel. He didn't carry a gun. If he needed a gun, he went and got one. He commanded respect whether he had a gun or not over there. And that's one thing. You go to the Philippines, so when it comes to the police over there, guys, don't mess with them. don't mess with those guys because they're very serious. You're going to run into the police are super nice. I did run into some of the chicks though with the mask thing. I had one that got right up in my face and told me, "You need to put on a mask." And I said, "I'll put one on as soon as you do." And she was like, "Oh," she didn't realize she didn't have her mask on. Then she had to run into the building and get one. And when that happened, I just hightailed it. So I don't care where you go. The stupidest thing in the entire world they ever did was put women as cops. You know, because the guy's got to protect them. You look what happened on this last one where the young black dude just took the chick's gun away from her. She's telling him all this, and she was a whole head shorter than him, and she's trying to boss him around and give him a ticket because he had his bike. He was on a bicycle on the sidewalk. So she's going to bust him. She's a big, tough cop. She's going to bust him for that. And he was a young teenage black dude. He just took her gun off her. "Yeah, I'll take that." Boop. And he took it off her, and she's fighting, screaming. Well, when the two cops came, of course, it was these two big monsters, and they beat the crap out of him and got the gun back. But, you know, yeah, you know, when I was young, I knew a bunch of the cops, and I remember I went through a stop sign one time, and the cop got right in behind me, and he says, "Hey, don't do that again." You know, I didn't get a ticket for it. He just said, "Hey, look, don't do that." And if you had a light out or something, they'd tell you, "Hey, you know something?" They'd pull you over. They wouldn't ask you for your license or not. They'd say, "Hey, you know something? Were you using your blinker?" And I'd say, "Yeah." "Well, go ahead, put it on." And I'd put it on. "Oh, it's not working. Hey, you need to get a new bulb for that." And one time I got a fix-it ticket, and I had to actually go into the police station and show them that I fixed the headlight. That was when my headlight went out. My right side, passenger side headlight was out. But the other ones, they don't even give you a fix-it ticket. It was no big deal, you know, get it fixed. And I want all my lights on my car working. It's like when I go look at used cars. That's the first thing I do is turn on all the lights, make sure all the blinkers are working, make sure the brake lights are working. Hey, JLD. Let's see. All right, cool. Very cool. Yeah, those cops don't command respect from anyone. They come up and they treat you like dirt right off the bat. Now, here in this little town, I've talked to a couple of the cops here, and they're regular people, except that chick cop. She's worthless. You know, she's worthless. It's just like having a chick fireman. You know, when we had smoke, my pressure cooker smoked up and the alarm went off. So all these firemen came, and these guys are all. The shortest one was 6'4". These guys are 280 pounds, and if you're asphyxiated, they're going to pick your ass up and carry you out. And then they got this little woman that comes in. I don't know what her job was. About 140 pounds. She couldn't even carry the damn suit and the helmet. It looked so stupid on her. And she's a fireman. Now, who in their right mind allows something like that? Who's she going to carry out? The cat? She's going to save the cat or the dog, maybe. Maybe that's her job, I guess. But to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. You don't put them in that position, and I don't believe they should ever be in combat either. Whether they say they're tough and hard and all this kind of crap, that's not what God designed them for. They're not designed for that. You know, and they want them to be warriors. I mean, how ridiculously stupid is that? But and then they go to slapping leather. They showed that one where the guy came to the door. They beat on his door something horrible. It wasn't a normal knock. They beat the hell out of this guy's screen door. Well, he was carrying one of them Walmart phones, you know, them big cordless phones with the antenna on it. And he comes to the door, and this girl screams, "Gun." She fires off 2 clips, hits him, I don't know, hits him about 14 times. The other girl fired off a whole clip, 17 rounds, and never hit the guy one time. Just shot into the apartment. Killed him. And they get no jail time, nothing. And the dude was holding a phone. So if they're so stupid they don't know a gun from a phone, they need to go do something else. And personally, myself, both of these women should be in jail for the rest of their life, if you ask me. They should never get out. They should put them in the gulag and close the dungeon door
and that's it. But they don't. Yeah, she can't even carry the hose. That little tiny woman that came. I seen her out front, you know, because the firemen came in, they opened up the windows, and these were big. I'm a big guy. I'm 6'8", and all these guys were as big as me, all of them. That's what you want in a fire department. You want some dude who's going to be able to climb up the ladder with all that gear on, all that fireproof gear on, and pick your ass up and drag you out. And every single one of them guys that came in here could have easily done that to anybody, except that little tiny woman. I mean, how stupid. What fire chief in the world would even want her? You know, or a policewoman, unless they're going to go give parking tickets. You know, give them a little Cushman, you know. But another thing they need to do is take these tasers off. I couldn't believe how many, just in the state of Connecticut, they've killed like 49 people with a taser. They said that on one of the vlogs, that 49 people in that state in the last year have been killed by a taser. I didn't know those things would kill you, but they stop your heart. And they'll get these people, they just keep zapping you. They don't shut it off. They just hold it on you and they keep zapping, and these people are screaming. They're already subdued. They can't move. They tell them, put your arms around your back. They can't because they're being zapped. Yeah. And mostly it's the women. Like the woman zapped that guy on the willy and was zapping him in his butthole and stuff. What the hell was the matter with her? How come she's not in jail? But no, they laughed about it. And then the one dude they busted, he wasn't talking. They zapped him for, 30 times. And then they threw him in the back of the car. And he died back there while the cops were standing outside laughing. Never took him to the hospital, never did anything. They thought it was real funny. And then they opened up the door and the guy's like, hey, guess what? This dude's dead. And then the cops didn't care. Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad. Wonder what happened to him. Gee whiz. And that's what they do. And they don't care. They go home and they sleep at night. And they're all happy that they killed somebody. They could put a little notch on their gun or their taser and say, I got somebody. They tell their wife, yeah, I killed a guy today. Oh, it was really cool. Bastards.
Mama.
And then I watched this one video where they came into the yard. These guys weren't even doing anything wrong. And the one neighbor, black guy, said, I watched this on YouTube, but you never think it's going to happen to you. And it happened to him. And this cop knocked this little tiny woman down, knocked her down, knocked the other dude down, arrested him, threw him in the bracelets and put him in the car. And it's like, what the hell did they do? The cop told him to get off the property, because their car was running. That's one I forget that Brian guy's name. He's got a channel. He's doing a video on that one right now. There's a whole bunch of people doing the video on that one where this cop was just so aggressive, pushing people down and screaming, going to shoot him with the taser. And he did wind up shooting him with the taser. But I never realized the taser can kill you. Just amazes me. Well, it's 50,000 volts is what it claims. And I think we're one of the only countries in the world that even allows their use. They should get rid of those, but then they'll start shooting people with their 9s or 45s or whatever they shoot them with. Because they're a bunch of chickens, they got to pull their gun out. And shoot somebody because, I might get hurt. I want to go home today. They're not there to protect and serve. They're there to protect and serve themselves. Most of them are crooks. Look at that one that was raping all them women. He got 273 years or some crap like that. Good. All I can say is good. They should have gave him more. And he was crying in the courtroom, boo, effing who? Poor baby. I bet you they're going to be cornholing his ass. Oh, I know that. Half an amp will kill you. People don't realize that electric charges, it disrupts your heart rhythm. And look what they do when they zap you. I've known people that their heart stopped and they zap them and they get their heart going again. Well, it's just the other way around. They zap you and they can get it to stop too. I watched that on one of them shows where they stopped, they were stopping a mouse's heart just with the little probes. We're going to get it to stop now. And then they took it out, and then they put it on a little pumper thing, and then they put it back in. They were trying to show that. And, it's amazing the stuff they can do. But, I don't know. Very, very scary stuff. And these cops, they don't even think twice while they're using them. They're not trained properly, none of them. They don't know the laws. I mean, you watch these videos. These videos can't lie. The camera, it's impossible for a camera to lie. And then these assholes, another thing that I don't like is they got body cameras and they can switch them off. They can turn the audio off and they can turn the video off. I don't think that should be. I think that those things should be on their chest and they should have no button to turn them off and on. You know, because when they're in cahoots trying to bust somebody, they can turn them off. That's RICO statutes. They're conniving. You know, that's conniving against you. So they should be busted for that. You know, that's conspiracy. So I don't get that. I don't get why they do that at all. But they do it. They shut them off, and then they have their little conspiracy on what they're going to charge you with. And they come up with all these charges. You know, you can't just say, "Give me your ID" to somebody walking down the street, but they do it all the time. And if you don't give it to them, they throw you in cuffs. They take you to jail. Do you win? Sure, but you're still in jail for how many hours? You know, and you can sue them and do all that stuff. But you think the judges give a damn about you? They're on the side of them cops. They're all crooked. They're there to make money. That all the cop is a tax collector. The more charges he can get on you to collect more taxes, the happier that judge is going to be, and they're going to take your money. Look what happened to that. Now, I don't really like that Chile guy. I watch his vlogs. I don't like how he talks to cops. I would never speak to a cop like that. I start out everybody with respect, and then they'll get what they give me. But this guy comes up and he's shitty, calls them pigs and really nasty. Well, he got nasty in the courtroom and they threw his ass in jail. Now, the only reason he got thrown in jail is because they didn't like him. I didn't see him do any law. Cop said move back. He moved back a couple inches. Cop never told him how far to move back. You know, he moved back a couple inches. It was all that stupid lady judge. And there's another thing right there. Stupidest thing in the world is having women judges, because they think with their emotions. They're not good judges. They need to, every single one of them kicked off the bench, especially in the divorce courts. They get these lady judges and they just screw the crap out of the guy because they got screwed before themselves. They've been through it. So it's a raw deal for any guy that goes up in front of a woman in a courtroom. You're going to get screwed. Just the way it is. Get a woman lawyer, maybe that'll help you. I don't know, but I don't trust them. And all they're going to do is take your money. Now that guy's sitting in the pokey. They ain't going to let him out. And then he might get more charges. As soon as he's getting ready to release, they might give him more charges and give him a couple years. You know, because they can. And by the time he fights it and wins, he's already sat in there a couple years. It's a crooked game. It's rigged against you. There's nothing you can do with these people. Judge wants to throw you in jail. That's where you're going. I went into a court when the divorce was going on, and I said, "Hey, this is a bunch of bullcrap. They don't care. You go take him to jail. Bailiff, grab him, put him in jail. They don't let you out until you apologize." And I just wouldn't do it. You know, they said, "Hey, are you ready to apologize?" I say, "No." Oh yeah, they stack all these charges, Berkey. They say, "Oh, he did this and he did that," and you know, resisting. And that's what they all do is, you know, they grab you. They got the cuffs on you already. They're shoving your face in the ground and they're saying, "Quit resisting." I mean, it's a joke. It's a stinking joke. You know, you're not resisting anything, but that's what they all scream because they're a bunch of damn panty-waisted sissies with no dicks. I think as soon as these men become a cop, they just cut their nuts off. I think that's the first thing they do to them. "All right, come over here. We have to go ahead and do this." And whack, they just chop their nuts off and turn them into little pussies. And they're scared of their own shadow. You know, they just had this one on last night about the cop was hiding in the bushes. And some man, the wrong house, totally nothing to do with it. He walked out because he heard a prowler with a gun in his hand. And the cop with the rifle killed him, shot him right in front of the guy's wife. And it was justified, you know, because the dude had a gun in his hand. Well, if you have a gun in your hand and there's a cop around, you're dead meat. They don't want you to have a gun, guys. I carry a gun everywhere I go. In the state of Ohio, it's mandatory. If you run into a cop, you have to let them know that you have a firearm on your person. Are they going to shoot me? You can put your hands on top of your head. What's he going to do? Pull out his gun and shoot me in the face? Saying I got a gun? Because only they are allowed to have them? That's what these guys think. I don't know why I keep getting off on these cops, but I guess I watch too many of these cop shows. And so many people go to jail for nothing. And then, like, when you get stopped on these traffic tickets, you got a blinker out and you go to jail for it. They just did it to a lady. She went to pull over and she didn't use her blinker. It was working, but she didn't use it. So the guy put her in cuffs and took her to jail, had her car towed. Probably cost her thousands of dollars. And it's like, it's a ticket. You give them a ticket, you let them go, but they don't do that. They want the big bucks now. They want to tow the car. They want you in jail. They want you to stand before the man so that he can soak you for a shitload of money. And then they start asking the passengers for ID. You don't have to give them shit. If you're in a car and a cop asks you for ID, you don't got to give him shit. He's making a deal with the driver, not you. Just ignore him. Me, I just pretend I'm asleep. That happened to me one time before. Cop came to the passenger window and he's knocking on the window. I didn't even open it up. I didn't open the window up. I just pretended I was asleep. And, he kept asking the driver, what's the matter with your buddy? Was he drunk? And I did not open my eyes. I just laid there. Yeah, it's a tax. That's exactly what it is. They're just tax collectors. And it doesn't matter if they do it to rich people. So what? I mean, rich people got the money. They're hurting the poor people. They had four black teenagers in the car, pulled them all out of the car, beat the crap out of all of them. They just had one over here in Elyria, where the young 17-year-old kid, he's driving his mother's car, and the cop pulls him over. So he gets out of the car and starts walking back to the cop car, and the cop runs up and just starts punching him in the face. Just attacked him. No warning. He never said he was going to do it or get in the car or nothing. He just started punching this poor kid in the face, got him on the ground, kicking him in the head, and just beating the shit out of him. Now, he got 90 days. He went before this judge, and the judge gave him 90 days. Just think if you did that to somebody. Do you think the judge would give you 90 days? More like 10 years. That judge would throw you in the gulag and throw the key away. But because it was his tax collector, I can't get these guys mad at me. They'll stop collecting taxes for me. How are we going to make everything operate unless we steal everybody's money? This is just how it works. And these judges, I don't give a damn. They're just as crooked as all the cops. They don't want you to get off on anything. They want to bust you for every little thing they can. Very, very rarely do they let anyone off where they say, okay, this guy was in the right and the cop was in the wrong. They don't do that hardly ever. You don't see it. You don't see it on the videos. Some cops get fired, but what do? They go to another department somewhere and they go work somewhere else. They go beat somebody. Look at what they did to that little old lady, little dementia lady walking out of Walmart. They beat her to death. They beat the poor little woman to death. And she was a frail little old 78-year-old woman. And they killed her. And that cop, he was like, man, I sleep at night. She should have turned around. Then the one guy in the wheelchair, they just shot him in the back 9 times. Had a hearing aid. They told him to stop. Well, he had his hearing aid turned down. Probably getting interference from the electric buggy he was driving with his lips. So what'd the cop do? Told him to stop. He wouldn't stop. Well, you didn't listen to me, buddy. You're not allowed to do that. So he shot him 9 times in the back and killed him. This just happened. Watch it on YouTube. And guess what? No charges. And it wasn't even the guy. They were looking for a dude that was walking in a hoodie, not some dude that was driving an electric buggy with his lips, quadriplegic. And he got away with it. The cop's still in the force. They gave him a week with pay. And then they said, oh, you didn't do anything wrong. The dude shouldn't have been wearing a black hoodie on his wheel buggy. And that's what they do. That's what these cops do. And he got away with it scot-free. And his partner, they had an interview with his partner saying, yeah, that was some good shooting. Yeah, you know something? That's a good thing. I have that in my camera bag too. I think you should carry one. You should carry one for the cops, something that you can drop down, because these guys are going to start shooting at you, especially if you carry a gun like I do. I don't leave the house without taking my gun with me. You know, and if they see it, they just had one fella, they pulled him over and they told him to go stand on the grass. And this lady cop said, I'm going to check him for guns. And she sees a hump on his hip and he said, oh, that's my gun. And she immediately attacked him. Didn't ask him if it was legal. He wasn't going for it. He wasn't nothing. And she attacked him. And then, of course, now you got these other cops pulling their guns out and this guy's getting ready to get shot. They didn't shoot him, but wow. You talk about a close call. You know, for that guy, he was almost dead meat because of this stupid woman. What's the matter with us carrying guns? It's our constitutional carry now. I carry one everywhere, but if you get some punk cop who's scared of his own shadow, he's going to pull out his gun and shoot you. That's the bad thing about it right now. You know, you don't know if you're going to live. And these people, they watch this happening and they say, wow, I thought this was only on YouTube, but look, it's happening at my house. Look what he did to that poor woman and that man. You know, these cops are just too aggressive. You know, they hate you. They hate us. It's a us against them mentality now. It's not like Andy Griffith guys. You know, Barney Fife puts his bullet in his shirt pocket. Them days are long gone. You ain't going to see those again. But I remember when I was young, you know, if you got in a tussle with somebody, you went to fisticuffs. Now they just shoot each other. And of course, and guys, every time there's a drive-by shooting, some little kindergarten honor roll student is the one that gets hit in the head and killed. Happens every time. And boy, I don't know how they got an honor roll in kindergarten, but it's always the honor roll student who gets it. You know. And they were pure. They were pure. And then they call these gangbangers that are shooting each other children. Oh, these children, 18 years old. Sorry, it's not a child no more. They know what they're doing and they should be tried as adults. You go in a car and you do a drive-by and you're 17, 18 years old, even 16 years old, guess what? I think it should be 13. Once you hit 13, you pull shit like that you should be tried as an adult. You know, because the Indians said, hey, once you're 13, you're a man. You know, that's most cultures. 13, you're a man. And they would try to say 18 years old, oh, we can't try him as an adult because he's just a child of 18. Give me a break. Throw these babies in the gulag. You want to do a drive-by and shoot the little honor student? Then you pay the man. You pay the man just like everyone else, and you go into the jug and you sit there until you rot. But, oh, they're going to let those guys go. You know why? Because they're committing the crimes and they justify their job, guys. That's exactly what's happening. They justify the cop's job, and they justify the cops shooting you because there's bad people out there. But these cops think everybody is bad. Oh, there's no such thing as protect and serve. They protect and serve themselves. Most of them are crooks. They're nothing but crooks. And I can see down the road where they're going to start shooting them. I mean, I would never plan on doing anything like that. I don't like the idea that it's going to happen, but I got a feeling they're going to start doing that. You know, there's going to be cops just cruising along in their car and somebody's going to hit them with a high-power rifle. You know, do them up. Wait till they get out of the car and do them up because, you know, they're just not treating the citizens right. They're treating everybody like you're a scumbag piece of dirt. And that, you know, you can't do that. You just can't do that to a human being. But they don't treat you like you're a human being. So it's a real shame. But my little Moo, he's still asleep. Dorothy's still asleep. Maddie's the only one up, huh, Maddie?
Huh?
You're the only one up.
Uh-huh.
Are you eating some of that Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
No.
What you eating?
Noodles.
Noodles? Oh, yummy. We got some of them noodles, Faye's. I think it's an uncle or something. He sent it from California. Ramen noodles, but there's no liquid in them. It's not like a soup. It's just the noodles on a plate. And boy, they're tasty. They're real spicy, and they're tasty, and they're actual noodles. some of these damn Raymonds that they sell you, I think they're made out of gypsum. You take a bite of them, and there's no taste to them. They're made out of wallboard. So, but we got some stuff that they sent to us. But you got to watch any of that stuff made in China. You know, they don't care what they put in their food or garbage. Did you see? There's a big thing on Walmart now about their corn. There's a video on there. Just punch in Walmart corn, and they got a lady talking about the corn. You know how it went from 45 calories to 90, and it's got chemicals in the state of California causes cancer. But I guess you have to be in California to get the cancer. I don't know. State of California, they got all kinds of weird shit going on there. But that's the way she goes. We're going to cut this short here pretty soon. We got to get our day started. Thank you guys for all dropping in. I got about 10 of you talking about these bad cops. I shy away from them. If I'm walking down the street and I'm behind a pole and I see a car coming by, I try to shadow myself behind that pole so they don't even see me. I'm going to have to ride the bike over. I've had them trail me on the bike, but I keep the bike real legal. I got the license and all that. I got insurance and registration, but you know, they seem over this way to pull bikes over, even if you're not going fast. They just don't like bikes because you got so many of these young guys racing. You know, they're coming through town doing 80, and they don't I don't think they even realize it. So the cops just, as a matter of course, they like to just pull over every bike. And I don't want them pulling me over. I don't want my name on some kind of list for being pulled over. I just don't want it. But Faye brought my good helmet. I had HJC and my face was getting cold. Well, now I got that one with the big full screen, the full face helmet. But the camera thing fell off the side. I got to glue a new one on. I hope my cameras will work so I can take you on a ride along, take you over the new apartment. I hope I get a carport over there. The apartments look real nice. They built that place in 1962, and they've just been adding on to it. I think there's 700 some units over there. They always seem to have an apartment that you can get over there, and we're going to get one right up front. You know, I wish I was more in the back. You know, for me that would be a lot better to be in the back, because then the bike would be like in the way back of the parking lot, unless I get a carport. I sure do hope the lady gives me a carport. She says, we don't have too many of those. There's only one row of them. And I said, well, man, I need a carport. So, oh yeah, Peter, we got to have some lab-made meat. Yum, yum. Get old Bill Gates is going to make you some. Oh, they're putting all kinds of chemicals and deadly stuff on your food. You know, you got to watch that. If you're buying food, look for the number 9 and the 5-digit. You don't want the 4 on there because they're using pesticides and Roundup. You got to watch the corn. Whenever, you know, especially if you go into Walmart, it's all crap food in there. You got to be real careful. But you can get it. You can get it if it's got that 9 first. That's the organic stuff without chemicals, and it doesn't last as long, but you know, it's better food. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. It was nice yakking with you this morning, but we got to get our day started. It's 10 o'clock already, just about. You guys all take care, and I'll talk to you guys again.